Hello and happy new year, everybody. I was thinking about before I went live, how many times am I supposed to say, how long am I supposed to say happy new year for? Does anybody know? Am I supposed to say it for like the first month of the year? Like, do I just keep going, or is this first two episodes of the year good? Help me out, people. Please comment below and let me know, because I may drive all of you crazy telling you happy new year until like March. That's just me. But anyway, happy new year, everybody. Like I told you earlier today, I am putting out into the universe that this is not just 2021, this is 2021, WON, because I am projecting winning years for everyone. No, I did not come up with this on my own. I want to put out that I stole it from a commercial. I don't remember what company, but I'm not ashamed to say I stole it, but I love it. So I am projecting on nothing but good vibes, nothing but good things happening to you, nothing but victories in your future on 2021. So, hashtag below if you agree, if you're all for it. Would love to see who all agrees with that. I love that little thing. If you don't know who I am, my name is Tiffany Roman. I am your host. Small Biz Highlight is a show dedicated to highlighting small business owners, getting the word out there that they exist, that they are ready for business despite all this COVID craziness. And, as we slowly get back to whatever normal is going to look like post-COVID, I am looking forward to evolving as with the times with this show, and helping businesses out as much as possible. That being said, my show is evolving, and soon, very soon, I will be launching as a digital TV show available for download all over the place. Believe me, when I get the official date of when I'll first start streaming episodes and how to find me, I will do a video just to explain to you how to do all that, so you guys can find me and start watching me on TV. I'm so excited. All right, so that being said, like always, I want to remind you guys that if you are going to be gracing us with a comment, you have to give StreamYard permission to see your name, and Facebook for them to talk to each other. So it's really simple. Just StreamYard.com/Facebook. And who knows, if you comment during the video, your comment may show up on the screen. And we will definitely put it on the screen. I'm telling you, you'll show up during the video while we're talking. So I will copy and paste this and make sure it goes onto the comments so it's easily clickable for you. And so that we can definitely see what all of you are thinking as we're going along. We have a very somewhat intense topic going on today. Money. Money is always something that makes people very uncomfortable, me included. But, it's always great to talk to professionals, people who know what they're talking about, the ins and outs of what's best to do with certain scenarios. So, we're going to take the time to do that today, because as uncomfortable as it is, it's also important to talk about. Important. So if you have any questions while we're going through the video, if you come up with anything that you want addressed or something, please do not hesitate to let us know. I will try my best to make sure that all questions are answered, or all comments are addressed, so that you get, some kind of feedback from this show tonight. So without further ado, tonight, like I said, is all about money with Fred Faylona. Why did I say Leona? I don't know. It's been a day, people. He's probably going to yell at me when I put him on here because I said his name wrong, and we were talking about names before we went live. But he's a very nice guy. I can't wait to introduce you. Let me click the button here. Fred! How are you, my dear?
I'm good. I'm really, really stoked with the new year. And I saw what you posted a couple of days ago about 22-1 WON. Oh my God, that's such a genius whoever concocted that term. And by the way, you're not really stealing it; you're just borrowing it. Don't they say that flattery is the or borrowing something like that's the best, it's the greatest compliment ever. So no, go for it. I think people need to really own the year and like 22-1 from the get-go, because as they say, what you can visualize, what you believe in will materialize.
Absolutely. And that's why I keep throwing it in people's faces. I'm putting it out there for the whole world. It's 2021, WON this year. No, none of the stresses of 2020, none of the nonsense. We moved on from that. Now it's nothing but winning from here on out.
Cool. Yeah, yeah.
Well, all right. So I told everybody we're talking about probably one of the most uncomfortable conversations out there, money. But before we get started with that and get down to the nitty gritty, can you do me a favor and just introduce yourself to everybody? Let them know who you are, where you're from, what kind of things you like, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, by the way, before I start, thanks to Tiffany for having me on the show. I'm always, grateful for people, and actually, I'm in awe of people who are brave like yourself, who are put shows like this. No one asked you, but you want to help people with small business people in the area. Hey, every single little thing that can help small business owners, me included, appreciate everything that you do. So, as yes, my last name is kind of hard to pronounce. I'm really glad that my first name is really standard English, Frederick, Fred for short. But my last name is Faylona. I'm from the Philippines originally. I've been in San PA for the last 15 years. I'm like a local. So it's interesting that I've been heavily involved with, or I still am, with the Harrisburg Young Professionals for the last 6 to 8 years or so. And I like taking on new people to Harrisburg because we get a lot of new, like young kids. I call them kids because they are out of college. They just got jobs for the state or some other companies in and around the capital. And I show them what Harrisburg is from somebody who's been here for quite some time, but still up to this day discovering all the eclectic or the interesting parts of Central PA and the whole PA in general. So yeah, I've been here. I'm a transplant, but I do love this area. I think it's a great area to grow your roots. Buy a house. Houses are cheap. There are plenty of jobs. If you're really not that picky, even if you're picky, there are a lot of jobs in here, tech, in healthcare and whatnot. Of course, so we're under the pandemic right now,
Yes.
but that will go away. Give it time, a year or so, that will go away. Yeah, so I live in Susquehanna Township actually, but I'm
Okay.
like 10 minutes away from the capital, so it's always accessible. What else? I love food and karaoke.
Food is always good.
Yeah,
Oh, karaoke's fun. I love
yeah. So,
karaoke.
I see that you posted my Facebook link in there. So I do post a lot. I do a lot of selfies. I do have a hashtag called Selfies with Fred. I'm sure there's another Fred out there who uses that, but I think if you search that, it's gonna be mostly me and my friends. So if I
That's
get to
awesome.
meet you one of these days, we'll have a selfie. That's me. And I also include selfies with pets, with cats, dogs, whatever that I can. Kind of hard. It's always interesting to have a selfie with the non-human. But hey, you try, right? Um,
Try. Yeah.
yeah. So that I'm also in help out. I also help out a group called the Harrisburg Young Catholics because I'm Catholic myself. So it's always fun to be around these people, finding homes for them, and some other stuff like the tech council and other volunteer things that I can get my hands on. So I'm kind of all around in a way.
Well, that's good. You seem busy, which is good because with everything going on, you kind of have to keep yourself busy per se. But it seems like you're just all about community. You're all about doing what you can for as many people as you can in the community. So we're kindred spirits, you, me,
Yeah,
Fred.
and really, there's nothing more than developing relationships with people.
Yes,
Obviously with the pandemic, COVID, we kind of have to stay away from each other a bit. But I always tell people, hey, the telephone rings both ways. There's Zoom, there's this, there's that. So yes, you may not be able to meet in person, but hey, don't let that um, get between you and being and communing with your friends, with your family. There's always a way.
yes. Yes. Oh my goodness. So
Yeah.
I guess it ties in really good with, transitioning into talking about your business because let's face it, being a financial advisor is all about helping out the community in every way possible. What got you started as a financial advisor?
Oh, but by the way, thank you. You just promoted me. I don't have the title yet, but I'm working on it.
Oh,
So
my bad.
it's okay. Regulation wise, it's a specific title for certain licenses. I don't have that, but um, so in a way, I'm a representative. That's my official title with the securities
Okay.
industry. So what got me started in this business is I was looking for something to do that really helps people, and this is one that kind of close to my heart because money, as you said earlier, is a hard topic. Either people don't want to discuss it because um, they how do I put it? Personally, I would say before I got into this business, I will never discuss money with anyone because I'm embarrassed. 'Cause I don't
Yeah.
have it. You know, I have
Mhm.
debts, I have this and that. Um, but the thing with money is that it should be no big deal because you apply for a credit card, you supply your personal information anyway. You know, at the end of the day, I think money is something that everyone should discuss with somebody they trust. You know,
Yes.
pick one. There are a lot of financial people out there,
Mhm.
advisors, representatives, coaches. I like to call myself a financial wellness coach because I really want people to be financially well at the end of the day. And that's basically what I do day in and day out is to really talk to people. Hey, what ails you financially? What are your goals and dreams, original goals and dreams? Because finances actually prevent people from pursuing their goals and dreams because hey, money for the food on the table first, or gas money or this and that, and then that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, if I'm able to interview people, hey, how do you, what do you really want to do as a person? Because at the end of the day, we are people, right?
Yeah.
Money is one of those things that we need, unfortunately. But what do you really want to do? And then, okay, so where are you right now? And let's figure out a way to get you to wherever you want to go, whatever that is. There's always a way.
I totally understand the whole aspect of people being nervous or embarrassed about talking about their finances because a lot of it comes from just being undereducated when it comes to how to deal with money. I don't feel like it's something that
Mhm.
they address too well in school. I mean, I know I remember in high school I had an accounting class that I signed up for
Okay.
that
Okay.
I signed up for because my stepdad's an accountant. Well, not anymore. Technically, he's in investments now, I guess. But
Okay.
at the time, my stepdad was an accountant, so I wanted to kind of take the class to understand more about what he's doing, how he goes about things, how his brain functions, because he's just
Mhm.
very good at figuring out numbers. And I tell you,
Mhm.
I thought it was going to be an easy class, and it was so hard. Like the math part was easy, the
Yes.
adding, the subtracting, balancing your checkbook and stuff, but the steps involved, and then realizing, oh goodness, I only had this amount of money left at the end of the month, and what am I going to do now? I need more. So I you know, I think a lot of us take little things like that for granted. And we don't do the paperwork anymore. We don't do the extra steps needed to make sure that we're, you
Hmm.
know, managing our money correctly. And then that's when you guys come in with all your, you know, expertise and your tidbits and your whatnot to kind of help people along in the process. But it is definitely just like any other thing, it's really hard for people to break down and be like, I need help because
Hmm.
they're on the warpath to prove that they can do it on their own. Always, I feel like.
Yeah. Actually, it's interesting that you mentioned several things there. But before that, accounting you mentioned. I'm one of those things that when I love accounting because the math is not hard. I love
No.
the analysis portion of it. It's probably why I'm doing this because I love analyzing, figures. Not the high math like all these different formulas, but this. So it's good. But when we do our financial wellness workshops, and we do this every once in a while. So for the viewers of the show, watch out my Facebook page. I should be posting one in this quarter. We will have one at least one this quarter. One of the first questions we ask when we conduct our financial wellness workshop is we just open to the public, by the way, it's totally free, open to the public. And I'll let you know once we have a schedule if you want to attend or if you have some friends who want to attend.
That's great.
Yeah, thank you. Who among you had any money related courses in school? And actually, most people don't have or don't remember. And the problem there is that even if you have, that's what you said. To me, and my opinion is because I never took it here in the US at the very least, is you're not able to connect the accounting topics to your day-to-day requirements, which is personal finance. So how does that work? So if I'm starting out, let's say with $10 an hour salary, and I'm single and I have to rent a house and whatnot, a room or house, whatnot, and all my daily expenses. So how do I make ends meet? How do I save up? How do I not get into too much debt? How do I buy that car? How do I buy that house? Oh, and then I get married and have kids. How do I pay for all this education stuff? So the one important thing that you said earlier was it's all about the education. Because information is out there. Actually, you can Google things. There's a lot of
Yeah.
information out there. Unfortunately, there are also a lot of competing information out there. Now, people are confused, like which one is correct, this or that or this. And for the most part, all of them are correct. You just have to pick one that you want to follow.
Got it.
Because most people out there who are like the type of Dave Ramsey and all those people,
Yes.
Susie Orman, so they tell you exactly what you need to do. You just have to follow and get that discipline.
Yep.
Now, the problem there though is that obviously there's a web. You're not talking to anyone, right? We just hey, it's free, but you don't talk to anyone if you have a specific questions because everyone's and I found out when I started this as soon as I started this business is everyone's finance is different. Mine is different from yours. Even if let's say we have the almost similar like family, number of kids, it's still different because your goals and dreams are different from mine. That's really what
Yes.
makes it different. So, and that's what somebody like me helps people out, like really based on your goals and dreams or your family's goals and dreams. You can take steps 1 to 5 to get there. Yours will be different from mine.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's all about education. So, and that's basically what I am. I'm all about education. I'm all about educating anyone and everyone who's willing to listen and spend the time. And once, we set up we figure out all the information necessary, all the steps, really the discipline to go through that.
Yes, and it really is like life changing is what it is. Just like a diet is like totally out of your comfort zone and putting you in, making you make life choices that are just changing, like not your norm. Dealing with money and trying to manage your money is exactly the same thing. You have to kick the bad habits, just like just like in weight loss. You gotta stop and think, reevaluate what is important to you, what's not important to you, cut the ones that aren't important to you so that you can focus on what's important. It's a process. And I applaud people like you mentioned, Dave Ramsey and whatnot, who built these amazing systems, because there's so many people who have benefited from their teachings, their systems and whatnot. But I know there's got to be tons of people out there who are like me, that I cannot teach myself stuff. I cannot sit there, and maybe it's because of the military. I always blame the military for everything. It's because of the
Yeah.
military. No,
Okay.
in the military, they put us in a room, teach us the stuff, um, have us do hands-on stuff for it, and then give us the test on it. And I absorb it a lot better that way because I'm hearing it, I'm seeing it, I'm learning it hands-on. There's no way for me to forget it. But if I have to watch the video myself and then try to absorb what they just told me and understand it at the same time without further, explanation or someone specifically breaking it down for me even further if need be, I get lost, and then that's where they lose me. Because then I'm just like, nope, this isn't for me, I need to find something else.
I wish
So
I
I
could.
mean,
I wish I could identify. Although I do have a couple of family members who are in the military or who were in the military. So all you guys, thank you for your service. It's not for everyone. I don't know if I could have done that myself, but obviously I didn't. So, um, but you mentioned something about life changing, and one there's if there's there are a couple of things that are common in life, and one of them is change, right? Um, like you started out as a single person, then you get married, you have kids and whatnot. Those are actually important points to identify and to realize that okay, so you start with a some sort of a financial plan when you're single, but the good beauty of having a plan, just like any project plan, if there's a change because something you didn't foresee that was there, or something that just happened, or an accident or whatnot, you can have the plan. You can change your plan to suit the new realities. But
yes.
these already have a basis, and your goals and dreams should also not change, right? They should still be the same. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's one of those things. Like that's why I stress the importance of if you have any money, if you're thinking about money, just like if you have any problem, talk to someone. Like in this case, if you have any, if you have concerns about money, if you have concerns about can I make it, especially in the pandemic, can I make it?
Yes.
Can I make it through the whole thing? There are some of us who actually sit down with people. It's in free of charge. It's confidential. All we need to do is really, hey, if you need help, just ask, and we'll go sit down with you and figure out what to do based on your reality, based on your goals and dreams, not based on what I think you should do or have because I don't know. Like,
Right.
yeah. So, like people like myself, we don't prescribe do this, that. We have to really still know what it is that you're trying to accomplish, because for all you know, you want something else than what I thought you would. Like, I come across some people who are like, hey, they want to retire at age 50. Like, oh, that's too young. No, they want to not work a day in life because they want to spend the next 20 years of their lives running a foundation. And they know, so people like, oh, I'm going to go save up X amount of money because at certain age, I want to just don't worry about, getting a salary because I want to do something for the veterans. So run a foundation. And for many of these startup organizations, there's really no money in there for them. So because their intent is to help people, so people do that.
That's cool. That's
Not
cool. But
just
that whole retiring early thing, but then to retire early and have enough money to sustain yourself for however long you have, it just seems like so much work. And you always see those commercials where they tell you, the sooner you start saving or
Mhm,
investing so that it builds up and whatever, the better. But I mean,
mhm,
even with me at 35, I know it would be hard for me to reach whatever estimate they have, because they do have those, right? Like estimate amount that it would um cost, or like the estimated amount of income you would have to save up or whatever so that you could sustain
mhm.
yourself based on what you're living off now, basically.
Yeah.
So I know it's a struggle in trying to do all this with people who have lost their jobs,
Yeah.
who they probably had life insurance policies with the job. They probably had all kinds of stuff with the job that now are gone because they no longer
Yeah.
have it. Um,
Yes.
how do you help them come up with a plan? Like for me, example, I had to quit my job back in April.
Hmm.
Or not in April, I lied. Ugh, August. I
Okay.
started the show back in April. Oops. No, I had to quit my job back in August. No childcare, so it made it tough for me to get back to the office when they wanted me to report back.
Yeah.
So and now the hubby is laid off. I've been
Ooh.
waiting I've been waiting over 3 months now for unemployment with no checks coming in. So like how
Mm.
do you help a family like mine, for example? I'm putting myself out there, everybody, for you. You better be grateful for this. No. Um, how do you advise people who like have no income coming in on how to help them with their financial stat? Like how do you help them keep motivated to propel forward, basically, I guess? What kind of advice would you give those types of people? Because I know I'm not the only family with this issue. I
Mhm.
know I'm not.
No, you're not. And really, um, so the key thing there is that it's not the end of the world. Period. Okay. And you always have options. Okay. And many people mistake that, oh, if I don't have a job, that means you can't. No financial coach or advisor can help me. Of
Right.
course, you don't know, because basically, obviously, it's always easier if you have a good income coming in, and we can, But even if you don't have, maybe you have other things that, like you said, life insurance. Many people have them only for their jobs. Some people have some other things that are private. Maybe there are options there that can be looked into. You know, maybe it could be cheaper because you still have to keep it, right? So basically, my approach personally is really okay. So what's the income right now, and then what's the budget, and how can you tie things over until the next one? So at the very least, we'll get to realize what's the say the whole in the whole
Mm,
income stream is, and what are we looking at, and what are your current resources. Maybe there are something we can realign. Maybe there are some things that you're spending on right now that you thought, oh, I can't really get off this, but you probably could. Um, COVID or no COVID, people still spend quite some money, let's say, on non-necessities,
right.
uh, or some cable. And I apologize if that sounds a bit, but it's just
No.
what it is, you know.
Mm,
So, and many people don't really realize, if you don't put your budget on a worksheet, you don't know how much you're spending. So that's actually the first key is really, okay, what do we have really? So after all that, then what we can realign. So obviously we can say, oh, you have a shortfall here. Maybe there are other opportunities out there for somebody like you. Hey, I really applaud you for doing this, but I know doing this kind of show, but I know the next best thing for this is how do you monetize it, right? So for every single one of us out there, really
mhm.
is uh, it's always good to have. Is there something else I could do, whether I have a full-time job or not? So there are other opportunities like that. Somebody can do some people can do what I do, and for anyone who wants to know about that, hit me up, and I'll explain to you how this business goes. So
Yeah.
there are some other things out there. um at the end of the day, really, it's important to really save up for the rainy day. It's really important to have a plan B, even a
Yes.
part-time gig, um, for when you quit your job, or when the job quits you in case of COVID,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
Yes.
And also, I want to address what you mentioned earlier. It is possible um, to compute, because retirement is not an age; it's a number. In fact, it's a dollar amount. It's the amount that you said earlier. How much is it? How do I compute that? There's a way to
Yep.
compute. Yeah, and that's one of the things that we normally are able to we normally determine when we do what we call a financial needs analysis. So we do that uh, so that you know your target, because as they say, if you don't know the goalpost, how can you ever hit it, right?
Yes. I like
Yeah,
that. Yes.
yeah, because almost always no one can hit it yet, but because they didn't know that it was a target, that was a target. Is it 500 a month? Is it 1,000 a month? Is it 2,000 a month? Depending on your personal circumstance. But now that you know, then you can start working on hitting it. It doesn't really matter whether you start with 10% of what your target is, or 20% or whatnot. You just have to start, and then you'll get there eventually. Because one thing that I found out by doing this business is, like as you said, saving. I actually Saving is a good term, but the term that people should really remember is pay yourself first.
I
Yeah,
like that.
not your creditors. Of course, you have to pay your creditors. You have to pay the rent. You have to pay all those different stuff, right? But you have to really start paying yourself first before
Mm.
everyone else. Because in that case, because by doing that, you're able to really put away something for yourself for the future. It could be
Mm. I like
a
that
hundred
mentality.
dollars
That's a different mentality towards it. I think that's really
a month.
great. I love that.
Yeah, because you're not just saving; you're really paying yourself for what you're doing to for the community. So it's everything is doable. At the end of the day, people just have to say, "Okay, I think I need help. I'm gonna go
Yes.
call someone."
Yep, like with
Then
everything in this lifetime, you just have to boil down, and it's got to come to the point where somebody breaks down and says, "Fine, I need help. Who can I call?" Well,
yep,
now you know that if you are struggling to figure out how to manage the bills, the debt, the the callers hounding you for money that you do not have, you know, I think from my experience, because I have someone who helps me, I did finally reach out and have
good.
somebody help me.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
it's been a process for sure. But, I loved that one, he was somebody that was not in my family. Because like I mentioned, my stepdad's in the business per se, but he's
okay,
also my stepdad. And my stepdad was I love my stepdad. He is the best, the best. Anybody who's met him, he's such a nice guy. But he also is a dad. So, what do you mean you spent this much here? What was that for? Okay, whoa, time out. Bag up.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I know he was coming from a great place and a very loving place, but it
Mhm.
also put me like in a corner a little bit where like now I don't want to talk about it anymore. Why am I going to do this? So
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
great.
yeah,
One, it was great having a third party that was not family related, didn't know us or whatever, just
yeah.
had that ability to just look at it from their point of view and that's it. You know what I mean? No judgments,
Mhm.
no nothing.
Yep,
And
yep,
then the breakdown was very easy because, it was the whole screenshot, like everything that was on my credit score, on all my
mhm,
bills lined up the way he asked me for a whole bunch of paperwork. I remember I had to like go
yep,
find everything. But,
yep.
after I found everything and he broke it down for me,
Mhm,
when I thought I was drowning so far that I would never be able to come up from air,
mhm,
he showed me that it wasn't actually as bad as I thought it was. Like it was actually not that it was not that detrimental to my health, that I could get through this as long
uh-huh,
as, I listened to the plan that he came up helped me come up with and stuff. And
yeah,
I think that above everything else is so important for everybody to at least take the chance, especially because you mentioned it was free. If they come
yeah.
to you for this financial evaluation or whatever you call it thingy, then it's free. It's not
Mhm,
gonna do any. It's not gonna charge you anything. No strings attached. Whatever. What does it hurt to try out giving
mhm,
him all your information so that
mhm,
he gives you the
mhm,
exact breakdown instead of what you think your breakdown is? Because let me tell you, I thought I had it all figured out until that actual breakdown came through, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm really not that bad.
Yep.
Okay, we can do this. Let's go. You know what I mean? It gave a sense of relief, but then also to have like a team, like my own team partner, whatever you want to call it in the process,
Mhm.
that,
Mhm.
I'm not calling a 1-800 number and getting a different person every day to have to retell my story to every time I call in.
Yes.
It's a personal experience with that person,
Mhm.
and then they know you. They contact you every so often to, redo the evaluation, follow up and whatever,
Mhm.
send
Mhm.
cards or something. Like it's family. It becomes a part of your family. And,
Mhm.
if anything, my favorite part about one of my favorite parts, because my favorite part is all the time I get to spend with my kids. But my one of my favorite parts about COVID, the
Mhm.
shutdown and forcing us to stay home. One of my favorite parts is, giving people time to slow down and
Mhm.
reevaluate things, giving people that time that they might not have felt they had before, but then were able to take that time now to
Mhm.
see how their life is structured, what all is important, what isn't, and move forward with that and figure out where they go from there. And
Mhm.
I definitely think your services are a big process of that, a big process.
It is. It is.
So
It
you are
is.
doing great work, my friend. You are doing great work.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
I want to thank everybody who stopped by to say hi or, was here with us live. If you watch on replay, make sure you type in the comments #replay to let us know you were here. So I did not tell Fred this, but I'm going to tell all of you. If you watched my 1 o'clock appointment or my 1 o'clock appointment, listen to me, my interview today, you knew that I launched a brand new competition of sorts between my interviewees. So, Mr. Fred,
Okay. Go over challenge, by the way. So, what is it?
the challenge I am putting on you, my
Challenge.
friend, is you have until Thursday to generate as many views as possible on this video. Now, a
Okay.
view constitutes people clicking on the video and watching for at least 3 seconds. And then that's it. It will count as a view. So,
Okay.
between you and my lovely interviewee from this afternoon at 1 o'clock,
Okay.
between the two of you, whoever gets the most views on their video by Thursday will be featured on my TV show.
Oh, I love TV.
It's
Wait.
a digital it's a
Wait.
digital TV show. It's a
I know.
digital TV show, so it'll be on like Roku and Amazon Fire Stick and that kind of stuff. So it's not like network TV like regular digital what is that, cable, I guess is what it's called. But I am formulating my list of people to interview and whatnot, and I thought it would be fun to add a little competition to the table here to like gain my audience here a little bit. So yeah, so between you and my 1 o'clock interview, if on Thursday, I will tally up how much views each of you had, and the one video with the most views will be put on my schedule to get featured on the TV show. Is that exciting?
Yeah, it is. Okay, so now I have to. Hey, my friends were all invited. Where are you? If you didn't make it, you better watch. Otherwise, you're not gonna get flan from me. You know what? You
I
know
do
the
know what that is. Yep.
dessert. So mom makes it for her flan. So
Ooh. Yeah, I'm Puerto Rican, so if I don't know what flan is, I would probably get stoned in the street or something by my Puerto Rican friends. So I
and
definitely
lechon,
know what. Yep. You're
all the
making me
food.
hungry now. Stop it. Just a reminder, like always, if you are looking for us, it's easy to find us. We are on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. I just started, so please be nice to me. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure it out. But, either way, Small Biz Highlight is what you're searching for, because all of my handles are the same thing, Small Biz Highlight. So tried to keep it easy for all of you to find me. Please like, share, comment. You are supporting the show, but you are also supporting these businesses and any future businesses that have the opportunity of being on the show. That's one of the main reasons why I started this show, because it's definitely a win-win for everyone involved. For everyone who watches the show, shares it, what have you. It's not just benefiting me and my site, my Facebook page or whatnot. That is benefiting all the people I've interviewed in the past and all the interviews going forward, helping them get in front of people they may not have ever been able to get in front of before the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let's make Tiffany the queen of small business, right? How about that?
I like that. Should that be my next hashtag? Queen of small biz?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious, actually.
It's like, hey, I want my own title. I want to be famous. I'm gonna have my own title. Right?
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. The self-proclaimed queen of small biz. That's what I'm gonna put as my title now.
To say Tiffany, if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
So this morning I posted on my Facebook page, and I probably should post a link. I don't know how to do that, but if you're allowed. But this 52-week money challenge. Okay, so it started the year, right? The first week of the new year. So if you save the dollar amount equivalent to the week number, so there are 52 weeks in a year, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So save every week or every other week. Just save those 2 weeks. Put that like in your piggy bank or under the mattress. But better yet, open a share in your favorite credit union or bank.
Mm-hmm.
Put it there as a separate account. It will be $1,378 at the end of the year by week 52. That's not a bad amount for gifts, for people you love, for yourself, or for some other purpose.
Look what you started.
Yes, I love it.
Kirsten's your competition, by the way. She was my 1 o'clock interview today. So it's between the two of you. It's a showdown between the two of you.
I love making hashtags, by the way. I have Selfish with Fred. I have I don't own Harrisburg Famous, although I own the Harrisburg.com, harrisburgfamous.com. I'm gonna work on that at some point. But yeah, I love that. Queen of small biz. Hey, you're here, right? Declare it, proclaim it, claim it.
Oh my goodness.
Yours.
All right, yeah, so now I'm gonna keep posting that in my comments.
Yes, I mentioned the 52-week money challenge. At the end of the year, by week 52, you have $1,378. Not an amount to scoff at the end of the year. Do it.
No, and you could always build upon it later. But you got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. Yes.
And next $2. The following after that $3. What's that? Starbucks coffee.
Yeah, that's sacrifice for a lot of people. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people are very addicted to that stuff. But you should definitely, if for some reason you can't, because some people tell me they can't, and some people tell me they have no problems, but you should definitely post it. I will. on my page and whatnot, because I know there's going to be a lot of people. Oh, look, see, Kirsten's interested. See, yeah. So you should definitely post it on my page and whatnot. Let people know how to get in contact with you from it, so that if they want to talk to you about it more or any of your services, then we can go from there. All right.
Awesome. Okay.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. This is probably one of my longest episodes, but it was great information that I could not take you away from. I hope all of you who stopped by to listen learned something, that you were able to absorb something for future, thought processing. Because I know sometimes you don't really hear it until you actually absorb it later in your mind. I know I'm like that sometimes, but just know that there is help out there for you if you are struggling with your finances. Don't feel like you have to figure it out by yourself. There are really nice people like Fred here who would love nothing more than to help you be stress-free in the situation and get you to a place where you can breathe again. Because every one of us deserves to have that life again. Every one of us. So with that, I will leave you all go for the evening. I hope you have a wonderful night. And remember, you need guys let me know, how long am I supposed to say Happy New Year to everybody? Because I'm warning you, I will say Happy New Year until somebody tells me I need to stop. It's too late. Like at least the month, the January, or what? I need your input. Help me. All
I have an
right.
idea.
So
Because the Chinese New Year is coming up, so maybe until then, you can look it
when
up.
is?
I don't know when. The Chinese
Oh,
New
you
Year.
don't know when? Okay.
You can look it up. Yeah.
I have to look it up, and then I'll use that as an excuse. It's not end of New Year's yet until we have Chinese New Year. That's gonna be
Yes.
my excuse. I like that. All right. Well, everybody, have a great night. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to, like and follow and share and all of the above so that, you spread the word not only about the show, but about these amazing small businesses that I have the honor of featuring on the show from week to week. And I will see you all next week on Monday. But stay tuned for Thursday to find out who wins the free episode on the TV show. Good night, everybody.
Bye, Queen.